So let's try an experiment. Strings, there's loads of them. Nickel wound, premium nickel wound, steel alloy, cobalt alloys, titanium reinforced, treated and coated, semi-flats and flats, and many, many more. Some claim to last longer than others and some feel very, very different. But with all these varying construction types, how do they actually sound? Today I thought it'd be cool to take 9 sets of strings, all of varying constructions and materials, and see how they sound compared to each other, and if there's a difference at all. So this video comes to you in 3 parts. There's a full mix because it's always useful to hear things in context, and because I'm anticipating the differences between some of these sets to be very, very subtle, there's also a clean tone only and a distorted tone only to really pick out the differences. I've also put the time codes for each of these sections in the description below, so you can skip or jump to whichever section you want to hear. The strings I'm using are nickel wound regular Slinkies. These are probably the most common, and I'm kind of using them as a control set. Cobalt Slinkies. These are kind of like nickel wound, but they have a cobalt alloy wrap instead of nickel. M-steel Slinkies, kind of like regular cobalts, but with more cobalt in them, and a miraging steel core, which is an aerospace material, so think NASA. Stainless steel. These use a stainless steel wrap instead of nickel. Pure nickel, exactly like regular nickel wound strings, except these use a pure nickel wrap. Coated nickel wound, like regular guitar strings, except they're coated in a thin mesh to make them last longer. Treated nickel wound, just like the coated strings, but treated, not coated, to make them last longer. Semi-flats, a stainless steel wrap that is ground down to be a lot smoother. Flat wounds, traditionally used in jazz and mellower types of music. These also have a stainless steel wrap that's polished to be completely smooth. Okay, for gear, I'm using my Chapman ML1 Pro Modern, and that is going into my PV6505MH on a fairly neutral setting. That's running into my Torpedo Live and going straight into Cubase, and there's no post EQ on anything. I kept the gain as low as I could to preserve the characteristics of the string and not ruin them with distortion. So, how do they sound? Is there a difference at all? Let's do some science. So there you have it. I've got to say, I'm very, very surprised with how similar most of these sound. It's interesting that despite the huge variance in construction and materials, and even the difference in brand, that these all sound so alike. There are key differences though, mainly in the way that they feel rather than sound. The Cobalts and M Steels are like regular strings, but are noticeably louder. The pure nickel and stainless steel strings feel a bit looser and floppier. The coated strings were very slick and slidey, and the flat ones felt quite alien, almost rubbery, and had a higher overall tension. So what did you think? Did you hear any differences that I couldn't, and what strings do you use? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe if you want to see more, and consider checking out my Patreon for extras like tabs and backing tracks for all my videos. Alright, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, my name is Pete, and I play music.